Welcome to our Bhagavad Gita class. Very nice that so many people here. So we are reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. From His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we're reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, verse 18. And this chapter is called The Perfection of Renunciation. Yanam gyayam parikyata trivita karma chodana karanam karma karteti trivita karma sangraha Jnanam Gyeyam Parigyata Trividha Karma Chodana Karanam Karma Karteti Trividha Karma Sangraha
Jnanam Parijata Trividha Karma Chodana Karma Karteti Trividha Karma Sangraha
Jnanam Gyeyam.
Bitte sehr.
Jnanam Gyeyam Parigyata Trividha Karma Chodana Karanam Karma Karteti Trividha Karma Sangraha
Jnanam Gyeyam Parijata Trividha Karma Chodana Karanam Karma Karteti Trividha Karma Sangraha
Shnavis.
Jnanam Gyeyam Parigyata Trividha Karma Chodana Karanam Karma Karteti Trividha Karma Sangraha
Jnanam, knowledge. Gyeyam, objective of knowledge. Parigyata, the knower. Trividha, of three kinds. Karma, of work. Chodana, the impetus. Karanam, the senses. Karma, the work. Karta, the doer. Iti, thus. Trividha, of three kinds. Karma, of work. Sangraha, the accumulation. Translation and the purport of Srila Prabhupada Ki. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. Purport. There are three kinds of impetus for daily work: knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower. The instruments of work, the work itself, and the worker are called the constituents of work. Any work done by any human being has these elements. Before one acts, there is some impetus, which is called inspiration. Any solution arrived at before work is actualized, is a subtle form of work. Then work takes the form of action. First one has to undergo the psychological process of thinking, feeling and willing, and that is called impetus. The inspiration to work is the same if it comes from the scripture or from the instruction of the spiritual master. When the inspiration is there and the worker is there, then actual activity takes place by the help of the senses, including the mind, which is the center of all the senses. The sum total of all the constituents of an activity are called the accumulation of work. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kyanam kiyam parikyata trividha karma chodana karanam karma karditi trividha karma sangraha. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. So, Hare Krishna. First of all, I would like to ask the senior devotees here to bless me, and also if I'm talking some nonsense, please correct me, because I'm also here to learn. Jaram and Ajuna Valama, please. So actually here it's described how action happened, or how real or complete action is happening. So first of all, we need knowledge, then the object of knowledge, and the knower, who is the self, who are we. So without knowledge, we don't have any inspiration actually to do some things. So for example, I know that ice cream is very tasty. So how to get this ice cream? So I know, okay, there is a shop. And by going there, by paying the money, by getting this ice cream, I can have the ice cream. So, and what is to come to this point of be active is that we use our senses to do this activity, actually. So the knower and the doer is the same person. So the knower and the doer are the same person. So if I don't know what's the ice cream, what's the taste of the ice cream, I will not have the motivation to go there. The same way, when I don't know that you can become rich, how you can become rich. So for example, you know there's existing a president, or there's possibility to become president. You think about, okay, I can become president, so what I have to do? And then you start to figure out this thing. And then you go in action, you use your senses to be active, to do something. So by this, it manifests. So, and because without inspiration, without motivation, nothing can happen. Nothing can move. There's no possibility. So everything, how Srila Prabhupada describes here, starts in our mind. All action starts in our minds. For example, we're going on the streets and we see a beautiful woman. With the senses we observe this lady, and then the mind starts to think, oh, how can I enjoy it? How can I enjoy it? So you make plans, and then you have a plan and you go in action. So everything starts in the thinking. So therefore it's very important that we get proper knowledge to understand actually what is proper action. How he describes that actually the Shastra, or the spiritual master, is giving us the proper inspiration. That the spiritual master and the Shastra is actually, you don't have to distinguish, it's like the same source. So if we want to act properly on the spiritual platform, then we have to, first of all, start the process of Krishna consciousness. How? To get knowledge first. Maybe we hear something about spirituality, so then we follow more and more. So, and then we got maybe a book on the streets from a Sankirtan devotee. So then we start to read it, okay? What is Krishna consciousness actually? So we read more and more and more and more and more and more. And then, because we have knowledge and we know what kind of goals is possible in life, we can understand, okay, I want this and this goal, according to our desires, for sure. So, and because the scriptures tell us what is the highest goal in life, actually, so we can understand more and more, slowly, that okay, how I have actually to act to reach this higher goal. How we know, for example, we need a spiritual master who can teach us, who teach us in the practice of Bhakti Yoga. So who's giving us actually the knowledge. We have this. That's why this prayer, so I'm born in Tamaguna, so I don't have any knowledge, but through the mercy of the spiritual master, he's giving me with the torch of light, he's giving me the knowledge, that I know how to come out of this unfortunate situation. So he's training us properly, giving us properly knowledge, that we can, in the end, that we know how to go through this path of self-realization. So in every action, materially or spiritually, they are both. The action, the whole action, is including these features of having the knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower, the self, plus the senses, the work, and the doer, which is to motivate action. So we can ask ourselves, what kind of activities I want to perform. So what is actually my goal in life? When I was a teenager, I have always this problem. Okay, what is the real goal of life? What should I do? How should I do it? There are so many possibilities in this material world. But how can I really... in the end, we're searching or we're seeking for freedom. We are seeking for happiness. So, and what can I do? What kind of activity I have to perform to reach exactly this? And because I didn't receive the proper knowledge, even I born in a family which is kind of pious. My uncles and my cousin, for example, they are preacher. They are preacher in Christianity. So then even I got some knowledge, some spiritual knowledge, but because it was not giving me deeper realization, because the practice was not so it's not so developed, or don't give so much or don't give these features which you need for self-realization. I went away from this path. In Krishna consciousness, I found a practice which is very practical and where you can have realizations. And by these realizations, you can understand that you're moving, that you're developing some qualities, that you're coming closer to God, and that you can have an exchange with God. So this, in the end, gives me more faith and faith in the process itself, but also gives me this hope that, okay, finally I will find myself and I will find the real goal in life. But therefore, knowledge is very important, because knowledge actually guides our direction. So if we grow with the knowledge and education, okay, the goal of life is to have a lot of money, to have a house, to have a wife, to have children, and just for enjoyment. So for sure, we will act according this. Because the inspiration for us will be this knowledge. So, and then we will understand, or we hear how we can reach these goals. Through the school, okay, you have to study first. After the studies, you go to university, study more. And after university, you get this and this position, and this kind of job. And then you can go more, and you will be more and more happy. So this is the education. So this knowledge brings us to this goal. But Krishna is very clever, because Krishna used this material world for what? For teach us. For teach us the main important thing, which is to understand who we are. And if we see Bhagavad Gita, then the first chapter is just an overview about all the Gita, what's going on actually in the Bhagavad Gita. The second chapter, Krishna talks directly about the soul. So why? Because to understand that we are the spirit soul, this is the first step of spirituality, the first step of self-realization. So if you don't know that you're the soul, how can you become Krishna consciousness or God consciousness? It's not possible. If you identify with this body, it's not possible, because this body has another form, another nature, another needs also. But we as spirit souls, we actually need just the association of God, the association of Krishna. And how can we have this association with Krishna? Through devotional service. So it's a very practical practice. So we get the knowledge about Krishna. So if we have the knowledge about Krishna, we get also the knowledge about how we can reach Krishna, how we can, how we can develop to reach Him. So by this we can use our senses in Krishna consciousness. By, for example, the pujari is using his eyes, is using his taste, and is ringing the bell, and he's meditating. He's using his mind also. Or by smelling the flowers or the incense, we use our sense in Krishna consciousness, because okay, this is offered to Krishna, and because Krishna likes the smell, we accept the smell because Krishna likes it. That's why we like also, and we use our sense of the nose for smell this and remember Krishna. Or the eyes, we have the eyes. We see this beautiful Shishi Jagoranga and Doili Thai. And we use the eyes for seeing that. Instead of observe a beautiful woman on the street, we observe Krishna here and we meditate about Krishna. And then by meditating about Krishna, hopefully, we can remember some pastimes about Krishna and Balaram, how they play with the gopas in Vrindavan, and then the demons come and Krishna kills them all, and they have a lot of fun and jai. So, like when Agasura came, so the gopas, they think, oh nice, this is a hole or something. Let's go there inside and check out what's going on there. Let's have adventure. So what actually was Agasura with the mouth open. Agasura or Bagasura? Bagasura. Agasura. Okay, I was right. Agasura was Agasura and want to kill the gopas. So they were really like, watch, have fun. And Krishna saw this, Krishna observed, because Krishna is the super soul, and Krishna knows everything. And he saw directly. And went there and was also following and was cheating actually Agasura, because Agasura was thinking, oh, now I have Krishna, now I have all the gopas, Jai. So but then what happened, in the end Krishna protect the devotees, protect the gopas, and kill Agasura. So this kind of relationship we can have with Krishna, and by observing Shishi Vijay Gauranga and Doili Thai, using our senses for this, to have darshan of the Lord, directly it reminds us on Krishna and his pastimes. So, or if we cook for Krishna, for example, so we can also meditate about Krishna. We have to meditate about Krishna, how he's enjoying the prasad, the bhoga. We're cooking for him. So this can be meditation for develop our cooking skills. Now, will Krishna really eat and be, oh, very nice, Rupa Vilas, you cook so nice for me? Or will he say, oh my God, what kind of bhoga Rupa Vilas can cook? This is really bad. So the good thing is Krishna accepts our bhakti, our effort. This is what we're doing, that we are trying to please Krishna. This is what Krishna actually, what he wants. But still, we can give our best to prepare nice food stuff. And actually, it's also written down in the Krishna book what Krishna likes. What kind of species, what kind of preparation Krishna likes. Yeah, and in this sense, we can use all our senses in Krishna consciousness. This is a perfect practice, actually, to using our senses in a good way. It's good for us. It's Krishna is happy, and it's give benefit to all other living entities. Because, as we know, Krishna is saying, if you root or if you water the roots of the tree, all other parts of the tree get also the benefit. And in this way, if we just by practicing Krishna consciousness, this has an influence in the society. It has a big influence. For example, in the case of veganism or vegetarianism, it's like this. For example, my Guru Maharaj Bhakti Bhushan Swami, he told me that he's really sure about that this development of being vegan or vegetarian is why because of distributing the books of Srila Prabhupada. Because there everything is written. So Srila Prabhupada explained everything, give us the knowledge. And as he said, if you have knowledge, you can change. So if you have knowledge and you get also the knowledge how to do things, and by this you can change yourself by engaging the senses in this kind of activity, in this kind of work. So and he told me that he's quite sure this has a lot to do with the book distribution. And we can see also that in the beginning, when the devotees they distributed the books of Prabhupada, when he was telling them, hey, for example, they would distribute also like the vegetarian cookbook. So and the people were saying, are you crazy? How can you not eat meat? This is crazy. You have to go in the psychiatry or I don't know where. So in the beginning it was very, very difficult. So for example, also my godbrother Vajendra Kumar, who is here, some of you know him, he's doing prasadam distribution, I think more than 30 years already. And my Guru Maharaj, he told him, Vajendra Kumar, you have a special mission. Your special mission is to make a revolution in prasadam distribution. And he told me that in the beginning it was very difficult. The first 10 years he was really struggling to establish his catering. He was really struggling. Sometimes I was talking with his wife also because they're doing together. And she told me also that sometimes they had events, they invest and they just get back what they invest on zero. But still they were so determined that they continue. Why? Because they have the knowledge. They have the knowledge, and by the knowledge, what kind of effect this has for themselves, also spirituality, but also for all other people, plus the instruction of the spiritual master, because in the spiritual platform, the source of inspiration is coming from inside. The knowledge comes from inside, from the spiritual master, plus the Shastra when we are reading, which is connected. So because you can just be guru if you really understand Shastra and if you act according to Shastra. So, and with this, this knowledge coming from inside, they have this determination. They were, okay, we will do it, we will continue to do it. And then in one moment, everything changed. And now he's doing a lot of Lakshmi with prasadam distribution. And not just this, he's also inspiring other devotees to distribute prasadam. For example, Kanchani, my wife, and me, we now in prasadam distribution, and many orders or many possibilities for distribution of prasadam we get from Vajana Kumar Prabhu. He's giving because he knows so many people, and sometimes he cannot do for them because in the same moment he has somewhere else a prasadam distribution going on. So he called me, Rupa, there and there is something you want to do. Yeah, sure, thank you. For example, in my case, it was very easy. We started last year, even the Corona time, but we had someone like Vajana Kumar who gave us directly the possibilities. We don't have to struggle 10 years for do this, for be successful. So this kind of knowledge, spiritual knowledge, is very powerful and unlimited. And it can change not just the life of one person, but of all persons. So why? Because this knowledge comes from the source of knowledge, from Krishna himself. Like we know, Bhagavad Gita is spoken from Krishna. Then Krishna's words, or the words of God, are non-different from himself. Because he is transcendental. And he includes all qualities. So, yeah, we can decide actually what kind of knowledge we want to accept. The possibilities are there. But we are spiritual souls. For us it's natural to be in connection with God. And as I said before, the material nature, or the material world is created that it's actually like in a jail. If you do some nonsense, you go in jail. Why is the jail existing? That you learn that you learn that you did nonsense and that you change. So, and that's why this material world is also so heavy. Sometimes we as devotees say, oh, Krishna consciousness is so heavy, I have to stand up in the morning for Mangal Arti and I have to chant 16 rounds, and so much seva, and burn out. I'm fried and burned out. Yeah, but material life is more heavy. You have to invest so much effort because austerity, anyway, you have to perform. In spiritual life or in material life, if you want to achieve something, you have to do austerity. If you don't practice austerity, you cannot be successful. Except you have a very, very good karma, but still you have to be active. So, and that's why actually you can think about, hey, it makes really sense, to perform so much austerity for material achievements, which in the end, it just gives you a little sense gratification, a little happiness, and then it's over. And also, I built up my life, and in the end, I have to give up everything, because this is like this. We are born here naked, and we will go back naked also. Our pockets will be empty. We cannot take anything with us. So, and Maya is actually very merciful, because she reminds us of our natural position, the position of servants of God, of spirit souls. So, and if we don't want to learn the first time, then it will become more heavy and more heavy and more heavy and more heavy till we understand. Wait, slowly it's really start to pain too much. Maybe I have to change something. Let me think about it. And it's fact, if very difficult situations happens in our life, then we start to use our real intelligence. What is the real intelligence? So actually the spiritual intelligence, that we start to ask ourselves, who am I? Why I have to suffer? What is the goal of life? So, and if we not come to this point in our lives that we ask these questions, then we have to suffer a little more. Sorry to say, but this is the point. And we heard, I think, yesterday in class, Maharaj explained also, after we commend Prabhupada's class, he told us that there are 3 types of intelligence. One person who is like the most intelligent, he hear about things and he know, okay, if I do like this and this, I will get this and this reaction. So better I behave in this way, just by hearing. There's another person, he hears and he can imagine, yeah, maybe it can really be not so good if I do like this, but still I want to try it out and make my own experience. And then you get your experience and you say, okay, once is enough, one time is enough, no problem. I mean, I'm also a person like this. I'm too curious. I want to try out things. I'm too curious. And then there's another person who hear about it many times, and then he tried out 1 time, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and still he don't understand. And still he thinks, no, there must be something behind it. There must be a solution. Somehow I will find it out. But in the end, no. It's not like that. So we can decide ourselves who we want to be. And Krishna gives us the free will. So we can decide ourselves what kind of knowledge we want to get, with what kind of knowledge we want to associate, and what kind of activities we want to perform, and what kind of goal we want to have. It's our personal decision. Then Krishna says also, in one moment, first he teach Arjuna, and in one moment he said, now you know, I give you all the knowledge, Arjuna. You know everything. Now you decide yourself. In the same way, Krishna also, Prabhupada also, he gave us everything. He gave us ISKCON, he gave us temple, he gave us Sadhu Sangha, he gave us the holy name, he gave us the Shastra, he gave us the holy Dham, he gave us Krishna in the form of Ajavigraha, Prasadam, Ratha Yatra. Prabhupada gives so many things, but it's up to you or to us, what if we want to accept it or not, and in which sense we want to use our senses. Because, as we know also from the scriptures, actually, the mind and also the senses, they are pure. They are pure, for sure. Otherwise, how can we associate with Krishna? How can we see him? How can we play with him? Or whatever kind of activity we perform with him. So, actually we have just, what means just? The point is to, through devotional service, purify them. Bring them in the natural situation or position. Bring our senses, our subtle body, everything in the natural position again. And what happened by this? If our senses purified, then we can see Krishna. Then we can see Krishna. If the senses purified. Otherwise it's not possible. We have often this example of people who are too materialistic, who say, if God is existing, why he is not showing up? Where is he? Why I cannot see him? But Krishna says that he is manifesting just towards his devotees. He's just showing him to his pure devotee. And that's why a materialistic person cannot see Krishna. It's not possible. The devotees are very dear to Krishna. And that's why he's showing himself to his devotee. And we know from Bhagavatam, for many devotees Krishna appeared and they could see him. Prahlad Maharaj, for example, could see Nrsimhadev. So it's possible. And I hear today a lecture from Sankarsana Prabhu, from Vrindavan, and he told something very interesting. The Prabhupada gave an instruction, and this instruction was, purify your senses that you can see Krishna in this life. Very nice instruction, huh? And he said, I was feeling like I was just a brahmachari, no value, and Prabhupada gave me these instructions. Huh? So, and that's the point. Huh? And what is the best way to purify ourselves is if we spread Krishna consciousness. If we spread the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if we spread the glories of Krishna, if we spread Srila Prabhupada's glories, if we spread the glories of the acharyas, if we engage in preaching, then we can preach in different forms. According to our nature we have, according to our varna and ashram, we have many possibilities to spread Krishna consciousness, and this is needed also. Just by this, if we cooperate, everybody use his qualities for spread Krishna consciousness, we can have a huge impact in the society, because everybody of us can connect with different persons. But especially if we are pure, because we know purity is the force. If we spread this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita as it is to the people outside, then there is hope. Then there is hope. Hope for the persons. And hope for ourselves also. This is the hope. Spreading this movement, because we are a movement. A movement means it moves. It's not on one place. It's moving. It's spreading. And Prabhupada brought this mood. He brought this from the beginning. Sometimes Prabhupada walk. This I also heard from my Guru Maharaj. Sometimes the Prabhupada was in India somewhere with some disciples, and they were walking somewhere in the city, and then some people came, and they just by seeing Prabhupada they were so high touched, and they want to help Prabhupada, and they said, Prabhupada, can I do something for you here, this building or this land, I will give to you, I will donate. And Prabhupada said, okay, nice. And in the next moment, he looked one disciple and he said, you will stay now here. And the disciple says, what happened now? How Prabhupada you stay here. This is now your responsibility. And so Prabhupada directly used it. The persons or people donate, Krishna gave some opportunities, and Prabhupada directly used this opportunity for preach. So this is our mission. We have to preach Krishna consciousness. There is no other way. For ourselves and also for others. This is the best work for human being, to spread Krishna consciousness. To perform Harinam, distribute books, distribute prasadam, make nice festivals, like we have Ratha Yatra. So many persons getting so much benefit. Just in Cologne, I think 15 or 16 years or even 20 years, we're performing Ratha Yatra now here. And the government, they are very, very kind with us actually, because of Ratha Yatra. And what happened also is that we don't have any problems with book distribution. The government, they don't force us to leave the city or bring us in trouble. Why? Because you Hare Krishna. Okay, this is okay. Haribol! Haribol! Because we know you from the Ratha Yatra. And I had very often experience. I was distributing where I saw, people come from government. And one of them, this was, I think, someone who was very new, he came over and, what is this? I showed the book, and I said, Hare Krishna. And then the other one, he was a little older, and this Hare Krishnas, they are okay, they are bona fide. And they go away, and I was, Jai, nectar, Wow! Then before, when I started, 2014, when I started this book distribution, I was kind of fearful, the people from the government, from the city will come, But then with the time it becomes more and more easy, and now nobody. And if there are some who are new, who don't know us so well, you just tell them, okay, please give me your name, and I will send this to our office. We have like a Sankirtan office in Germany who's in charge for all this kind of problems in Sankirtan.
Mm-hmm.
And they write a letter to them directly, and the problem is solved. Done, finished. And this is also by performing Ratayatra, by preaching. There's no other way. Or Prabhupada, why he got so many donations? Because he was preaching. He was focusing on preaching and spread the knowledge. Making devotees, train devotees, and send them, after they train, to open a center or spread Krishna consciousness. So this was the mood, and this is the mood still. We should not forget this. What is our real purpose? What is our main activity in Krishna consciousness? This is very important. And by this, we please the spiritual master. This is what the spiritual master wants. This is how we can serve the spiritual master. This is how we can please the spiritual master. Recently, it was so funny. My Guru Maharaj, we were sitting in a class, and then he said, after we discussed the class, he was telling, it's easy to bow down in front of the spiritual master. It's easy to give a garland to the spiritual master. It's no problem. But this is not what satisfies the spiritual master. What the spiritual master wants is a garland of bhaktas, of new bhaktas. This is what the spiritual master wants actually. He's living to share this knowledge with other persons. He's living to deliver, to help the conditioned soul, because he knows this is the only solution for all problems. What are the four main problems? Is taking birth, becoming older, having disease, and give up the body, die. And the only solution is God consciousness, is Krishna consciousness. And that's why his only desire is this. And if we serve him in this way, by supporting him, he will be pleased. And if the Guru is pleased, Krishna is pleased. Why? Because he's the representative of Krishna. And he is the manifested form of Paramatma in the outside. This is the Guru. So if you want to please Krishna, please the Guru, by what? By performing Harinam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna. Maybe some comments or questions?
Thank you. Can I just ask a question?
Yes, sure.
Thank you for your lecture. I have a question.
Yes.
You spoke about knowledge and acting on knowledge in expectation of a result, right? I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about your understanding of faith, right? Because when you act on knowledge, then there must be some kind of faith there, right? And also realized knowledge.
Yeah. It's not. Thank you for this point, because it's important not just to get jnana, knowledge, but we need to have a vijnana, realization. And how is this working? We get theoretical knowledge by reading the Shastras, but what we are doing actually is bringing this knowledge from the theory in the practical way, by trying to live Shastra. And by trying to live Shastra as it is, Krishna gives us the knowledge through the Guru in the heart. So we have to be active. Because anyway we have to be active, because this is the nature of the soul. We cannot be inactive. It's not possible. And by studying the scriptures, which is actually the activity already, by studying, but then also put this in action, the studies. If we have to learn to live Bhagavad Gita, to perform Bhagavad Gita in our daily life, or Srimad Bhagavatam. We have to learn to do this. That's why, for example, Yeah, we have the whole practice of Krishna consciousness. We go for Mangal Arati. Yeah, we have all this the process. We're cooking for Krishna and everything. Yeah? And this is what actually convinced me, or what was convincing me to join Krishna consciousness. That it's not theoretical knowledge, but it's faith. How is faith coming? Through realization, actually. You have the theoretical knowledge, then you put it in practice. By practicing it, you get realization, and by realization, your faith becomes more and more. Yeah, but therefore, you need a spiritual master. Yeah? And I mean, we have also this different stages of Bhakti, or I mean, how you develop. First, you have little faith, then you have the association of the devotees. So then you get initiation. You have the spiritual master. Then you come to a platform where you purify yourself, anataniriti. So then you become steady in this. Through steadiness, what you develop taste. So through taste, you get more. What's through taste? Attachment, exactly. Through taste, you get asakti, attachment, exactly. And then after attachment, you get bhava, and from bhava, prema.
Mahabhava.
Oh, yeah, Mahabhava, prema. Yeah.
Mahabhava, this is part of prema.
Yeah. So first part.
Different previous level before prema. Bhava and Mahabhava is one kind of prema, because prema also increasing eternal.
Yeah.
Sneha and
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like this, no? And this is perfect. It's really perfect. You read something, you practice it, and you see, wow, I have a very nice result. And for sure, if something is working, you will continue with it, no? Or not, or we will not stop something what will work. Well,
No, because you can forget.
yeah, that's why we have this practice of sadhana bhakti, that we always repeating, always. I'm sure this what I was talking now, especially you both, you hear 1,000 times. So, but still, you're sitting here and you're eager to hear. Why? Because you realize that, especially in the Kali Yuga, our brain is really, we forget everything. So by repeating, we cannot forget.
Right.
That's why also my Guru Maharaj taught always, if devotees want to read other books than Prabhupada books, then he say, first read Prabhupada books, all books 10 times. Then maybe. So read all Prabhupada books 10 times. Why? Because it's so important. And we know also in other religious paths that after some years, or maybe 100, 1,000, 10,000, whatever, the practice is not the same. It's not, the purity is gone. So the purity is gone. So we have to practice. We have we have a responsibility as devotees. We have the responsibility. And this makes happy. Oh, Krishna consciousness makes us happy, or not? We have nice prasadam, we have nice kirtan, everything is so beautiful, we have so much colors. We are always in a party. Every morning at 4:30 we have party. Then in the evening again party at 6. Then in between we have some prasadam, we have little service, which is also enjoyment. Go for book distribution, or clean the temple, or give lecture, or whatever. It's just fun in Krishna consciousness. You have nice persons with whom you can associate, who are very kind, whom you can trust. I mean, some more, some less, because we are all in practice, for sure. Yeah. So problems also there in Krishna consciousness. But what's the point here? We learn how to deal with these problems, and it have not so much influence anymore after a couple of time. Or very nice. Now also my wife and me, we went to Gauradesh for 1 week. We studied Bhagavad Gita with Adi Purusha. It was so nice. The devotees are nice there. Radha Mada Mohan, so nice. The Sandesh, so nice. Temple is so nice. We had nice classes. With a nice association. Everybody feels so inspired. It's different. It's different than material life. Why? Because Krishna is in the center. Please.
So you mentioned how when you're offering like bhoga or anything, Krishna accepts the love and devotion that is in your heart. He doesn't need that, whatever that is you're offering. But what about when those days when you're really not in the mood and you're just doing it just out of sense of duty, and you have like other things on your mind while cooking, like like some problems or whatever, and does Krishna accept it when you're just doing it like this, without real sense of devotion at that time?
Yeah, he accepts because you're doing. You brought the point up. No? You do it as a call of duty. You're doing it, no? And this is that's a Krishna will accept this. No? I mean, for sure, if the consciousness of the cook is not properly, it can influence the other devotees. No? And we have some situations happening like this. I heard from Pujari, for example, that he was also one day we had to cook, and then in the evening one day before. He had something happen, and he was so angry, and he took this anger overnight and had to cook. So, and then he cooked, and then what he recognized during the day that all the devotees were somehow in this mood of something was very different. No? So he was thinking, oh, okay, maybe this is really because of me, So they have influence for sure, but Krishna accepts this, no? Because you do it, as you said, out of duty. No? You want really to please Krishna. No? In these moments, what you can do, you can pray to Krishna before you start. Krishna, please forgive me. No? I'm really now in a bad condition, but I'm doing this out of responsibility. No? And this responsibility is kind of love. No? So otherwise you would not do it. If you don't have this, at least a little love or a little, then you would not do it. You say, hey, I will not cook. But you do it. And this is also a kind of point of surrender. That even if it's difficult, we are doing it. Also in the practice of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes when our natas comes up, problems are there, this and that. But what Krishna is saying, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that actually Dhira, a person who is fixed in Krishna consciousness, he don't give so much attention to these things. He just fulfills his responsibilities. So this is our solution. This is how we can understand. Okay, I will. Anyway, it's difficult, but I will fulfill my responsibilities, and by this Krishna will be pleased. And often it's also like this, that in the beginning, before you then start, for example, in this case was the cooking, you're disturbed or something, but then you just do the responsibility, you just fulfill the responsibility, and you feel that slowly, all this bad understand, or the bad consciousness or anger or whatever you have, just disappear. Because Krishna is pleased with you. And he gives you taste. And you say, oh, Jai. I had many experiences in book distribution. You go out and nothing is happening. Nobody's want to take a book. And even worse, they look at you, what do you want? And more worse is if nobody look at you. If they just go and as you would not exist. They just go. And you think, hey, I'm a ghost, or what happened here? So, and then you say, okay, Krishna, it's one of these days for purification. And then you continue, and in one moment, if Krishna see you surrender, amazing things happening. And in 1 hour you distribute 50 books. Before you were struggling in 1 hour, and you do, hey, how this is possible? Then I had also one situation. I had like almost 1 week I was really suffering. And at that time I was a new Bhakta actually here. I was maybe 6 or 7 months here. And I was going alone on book distribution because there was nobody here who wanted to go for book distribution, and I feel inspired. So when I went out, and almost 1 week I was suffering every day, and it was raining, it was cold, nobody want to stop to at least listen to me, And I was a new Bhakta, I have my own mind, alone in the street with no association. This is very heavy. This is so, and then I think this was Friday. Yeah, Friday. Also, I was suffering a lot. And one moment, I was really angry, and I was like, Krishna, why I'm here? Why I'm here? Your purpose is to give the knowledge to the other people. So why am I here? What is the use? I want to distribute these books of Prabhupada. And in this moment, directly he sent one person, hey, I want this book. And I was, okay, I understand. I was not, determination was not there. Was no determination. Plus also I was struggling all the week, but I really want to do it for Krishna, fulfill my responsibilities. And then the next day, I was also coming. I was a little better already because the last day I could distribute some books. But I was thinking, what will happen today? Will I going to distribute some books, or will be again a heavy day? Maybe yesterday Krishna gave a little mercy and today I have to suffer again. And then I put my viti, like my trolley, where the books inside. And I turned around, I took some books from my hand and I turned. And in this moment, from both sides, from left came a woman and from right came a man. And the woman said, I want this book. The man said, I want this book. They both gave me Lakshmi and they went. And I didn't say any word. And I was like, okay, nice. So, this is the point. This is how Krishna works. He's training us. And through such situations, we get the realizations and also faith. It grows and grows. Krishna he's so nice. He's so kind. Best. So everybody can experience this. This is the wonderful thing. Krishna consciousness is meant for everybody. It doesn't matter who. Everybody can experience such situation I experience. It's not just I experience this. Everybody can experience this. And this is such a nectar. You feel so much love and so much care of Krishna in this moment. That you say, hey, I have to surrender to Krishna. There is no other way. How can I not surrender to such a nice person like Krishna? It's like this. So don't worry, Krishna will accept.
Spiritual path have two paths: sadhana and sadhya. Sadhana and duty, by following rules and regulations of duty. Then sadhya means perfection, spontaneous. And most important quality for offering, like in altar, purity and punctualность, как сказать?
Be on time.
Yes.
Yeah, be on time.
This means attention. Yeah? This is also similar, like if you love somebody, you have attention to this person.
Exactly, yes.
If you don't have love, like spiritual love, not appears yet, if we attentive during japa, most important to be attentive, otherwise offense chanting.
Yes.
Also, if we attentive to this process, we collect nice fruits, vegetables. We attentive during cooking, everything clean. Then offering with mantras, like this. This is our love. So this in our level, this is love. And not only this, we not offer directly to Krishna. We offer through parampara. And maybe our offering is not perfect. But if you offer through Guru Maharaj, from Guru Maharaj to Prabhupada, and this is perfect persons. And they're offering perfectly. And our imperfect offering will be perfect by offering through parampara.
Yes, exactly. There's it's also like said that by the process of offering through the parampara, the guru is putting little bit on it. Then the guru of the guru is putting little bit, till our small thing, how Arjuna Baba said, in the end becomes perfect. Our offering. So this is. Thank you very much.
Our service is unperfect.
Exactly.
Therefore, very important things to serve Krishna through His presence.
Yes.
This process established by Krishna, He wants like this, not another way, only through His servant. Then you will receive that. And also, можно я скажу по-русски, а ты переведешь?
Ну, если смогу.
У нас продолжается тема прасада с утра. Мы на Бхагаватам прославляли прасад.
So we have the topic of prasadam in the morning in Bhagavatam.
Еще Кумар очень реализованная личность в этом.
Rajana Kumar.
Раджана.
Yeah.
Очень реализованная личность в этом.
Что это реализованное?
Vigyan.
Yeah. Rajana Kumar, he gave the class in the morning and he talked about prasadam and he's a very realized person.
На самом деле, перед приездом сюда мы с преданными обсуждали этот стих, и тема очень философская. Знание, объект знания, знающий, чувство, деятельность, действующий.
Yeah, and also this topic we are discussing now, or the last days, are very philosophical, no? Like the knowledge, the doer, and all the parts we discussed actually, and also the 5 motivations.
Но в связи с прасадом мне открылась новая грань этого стиха.
But in connection with prasadam, I got some deeper realization in connection with this verses.
И эта деятельность принятия прасада, она очень естественна для нас, она ежедневная.
And also the process of accepting prasadam is very important for us. It's a very high influence, and it's have also performed in a correct way.
Один преданный сказал, когда я как-то подумал, если я уйду в сознание Кришны, что будет? И в этот момент я сразу же подумал, а что я буду делать без прасада? И тогда я решил не уходить. И Прабхупада, когда это ему сказали, это признак разума.
There was a devotee who was thinking about, hey, what will happen if I leave Krishna consciousness? For example, maybe I should go. But then he was thinking, but wait, if I leave, there will be no prasadam. No, I cannot go. And then Prabhupada said, this is a sign of intelligence.
И на самом деле Прабхупада говорил, что прасад — это наше тайное оружие.
Yeah, and Prabhupada said that, yeah, prasadam, this is our secret weapon. No?
И, как говорят русские, не знаю, может, в других народах есть такая пословица: путь к сердцу через желудок.
Okay. Yeah, there is a saying in Russia, but also in Germany. It's called, in German it's called Liebe geht durch den Magen. Love goes through the belly.
И
Stomach.
понимаем мы славу прасада или не понимаем, реализованы ли мы в этом плане или не реализованы, он действует.
Yeah, and the point is also that we are self-realized, no, we are elevated or not. Doesn't matter what, prasadam have his influence, prasadam have his power.
То есть гьяна у нас по поводу прасада или гьяна, есть вера или нету, он работает.
It doesn't matter if we just have jnana about prasadam or vijnana, realized knowledge. This doesn't matter. Prasadam is working.
Как ребенок, он не понимает влияние лекарств, которые дает мама. Мама даже его обманывает. Таблетку сварением сладеньким дает, и таблетка работает. Понимает он или не понимает химический состав этой таблетки. Он работает, лекарство работает.
Yeah, and the example is, for example, is that a kid, no, if it's sick and he get medicine, he's taking the medicine, but he don't have knowledge about the medicine. No? And sometimes even the mom is covering it with a sweet, no, that he's taking it. But he don't have understanding of the substance or of the elements, what is inside of this medicine. He's just eating, and the medicine have its effect. No?
И у Бхактивinoda Махараджа один преданный спросил, принимать прасад лучше в каком настроении? Служение или наслаждение?
There was a question of devotee to Bhakti Swami. In which kind of mood we should accept prasadam? More in the mood of serving or enjoying?
Махарадж ответил: не важно с каким настроением, вы просто его принимаете, он вас будет ощущать.
The Maharaj said, it doesn't matter in which mood, just the most important thing is take it, accept it, and this will work.
И когда Арджуна говорит Кришне, что трудно ум контролировать, все равно, что сдерживать ветер, Кришна говорит, да, это трудно, но это возможно с помощью определенной практики отречения.
Yeah, and also how Krishna, Arjuna is telling to Krishna, it's to control the mind, it's more difficult than control the wind. No? So Krishna says, yeah, but by doing devotional service or being Krishna consciousness, no?
So практики отречения.
It's possible by practicing
and detachment.
And detachment, yeah, by practice and detachment, it's possible.
Прабхупада объясняет, что слушая о Кришне, мы получаем высший вкус, естественно, отказываемся от низших вкусов. Прабхупада в том комментарии объясняет, что слушая о Кришне, мы получаем высший вкус, это практика, и отречение, естественно, приходит благодаря высшему вкусу.
Okay, Prabhupada says that by just listening about Krishna, Krishna Katha, so we develop taste. And by developing this taste, we can be detached, we can give up the attachment.
И в том же комментарии Прабхупада наша практика повторения Махамантры Харе Кришна, а наша диета вкушение прасада.
The same way, Prabhupada said in the commentary that our practice to take prasadam and chant Hare Krishna.
Practice is chanting Hare Krishna.
The practice is chant Hare Krishna.
And the diet.
And the diet is prasadam.
И вкушение прасада, это, как мы утром говорили, самая важная деятельность нашей духовной практики.
Yeah, and taking prasadam is, for us, it's really the most important practice or the most important part for us. taking prasadam. It's so much power.
Также Прабхупада говорит, что вкушение прасада очищает тонкие ткани головного мозга.
Okay. Не знаю, как я могу перевести.
Тонкие ткани.
Okay, that, Prabhupada said that by taking prasadam, we purify also our neurology, our subtle body.
Not body, subtle level of mind,
Okay.
of brain.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can say our neurology, actually.
Через просад мы получаем большой процент духовной информации, на самом деле.
And through prasadam, taking prasadam, we get a lot of spiritual informations, realizations, knowledge, actually, just by taking prasadam.
Потому что просад не отличен от Кришны.
Because prasadam is no different from Krishna.
Итак, по этому стиху. У нас уже есть знание, что важно кушать. Мы уже вдохновлены на еду, если говорить о знании. И о вдохновении. Можно так.
Yeah, and in this sense, when we're talking about knowledge and inspiration, we have the knowledge for taking prasadam.
Not only taking prasadam, just about food.
About food.
We know we need food, we have inspiration to eat. Объект знания – это прасад. Прасад – это объект знания.
Yeah, the object of knowledge is prasadam.
И мы познающие, если говорить о теме этого стиха. Знание, объект знания и познающие.
We are the knower.
В процессе принятия прасада вот все это осуществляется. Также еще три
составляющие. In the sense of the prasadam, everything makes sense here. Чувства задействуются. Like our senses start.
Мы едим, сама деятельность.
We're eating. This is the activity.
И мы едоки, то есть мы.
And we are the person who's eating.
Все очень просто, все вокруг
прасада. So it's very easy. It's all about prasadam.
Все знания открываются.
So all the knowledge open.
Все философские трудные моменты становятся простыми.
All the philosophical difficulties are gone just by this example.
И как ты связал с Санкиртной также.
And also how you connect with
У меня был опыт. Я стоял очень долго на одной улице в городе Одессе, на центральной улице Vilas. Нет, Одесса.
Okay, I was in Odessa, on the main street.
Много лет стоял на одном месте.
I was many years in one place. I had my spot.
И много там знакомых было у меня людей.
And there were a lot of people whom I know.
Но были такие, которые просто проходили мимо и делали вид, что меня не узнают.
But they were more in the mood that they went, like they passed, and they was in the mood, or I don't know him.
Они вообще не интересовались книгами.
And they were really not inspired or had an interest of me.
Хотя визуально мы знали друг друга.
Even that we know each other just by seeing.
Потому что встречались много лет.
Because sure, I was many years on the same spot, and you meet always the same people.
Но когда у нас открылось кафе Говинда,
but then if the restaurant or coffee, like a bar, Govinda opens.
Говинда ресторан.
Yeah, restaurant Govinda opens.
Один парень, который проходил, особенно проходил и полным персонализмом проявлял, он подошел.
But especially one person who was all the time just went through me, and he was very like an impersonalist and was never like watching at me. He came.
Он подошел и говорит: я был в вашем кафе, покушал. Мне стало интересно, что уже пьется.
And he said, yeah, I went to this restaurant you have here, and I ate something, and then in one moment I got interest. What's about these books? What's inside the knowledge? No?
И вот мой личный опыт, я пришел с ним к Кришне через просад.
So in my special, in my personal situation, I came through prasadam.
Философию я не понимал, я знал, что надо читать книги, начинал читать, засыпал.
And philosophy for me was very difficult. I knew, okay, I have to read, but I didn't understand, and also I was reading and I was falling asleep.
Но когда преданные пели Махапрасада Говинде, это было очень уместно, это было очень важно в моей жизни, это становилось таким все актуальным на самом деле.
But then when I hear devotees singing Mahaprasada Govinde, I feel like, wow, this is very something wonderful and essential for my life. This is really so important for my life.
Поэтому некоторые люди думают, что наша Махамантра это Махапрасада Говинде.
That's why some people think that our Mahamantra is Mahaprasada Govinde and not Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Prasadam ki jai.
Prasadam ki jai. Yeah, thank you very much for your open mind and for the question and also for the commentaries and inspiration. Bhagavad Gita ki, Prabhupada ki, Sadhu Sangha ki, Prasadam ki, Gaur Premanandi.
Vilas ki jai.
Prabhupada ki.